have a crazy idea, and I'm no stranger to crazy ideas. I have worked on a project for over 2 years straight, and I'm throwing all of it out! Yay! If you've been on the channel a bit, you've probably seen the name Syzygy Synergy. Started in January 2024, and it's based off the world of Splatoon. But as the biggest update of them all, I'm completely changing the entire show. Why I'm doing this boils down to 2 reasons. 1, creative freedom, and 2, I've grown out of my old work. If you remember, past me used to drop videos that said things like, "The script is halfway done! Voice acting is complete! Here's the final design of this character!" and so on. Forget all of them. I've stripped everything down to the foundation and have started the process of recreating everything and taking it out of Splatoon's world. This is no longer a fan fiction. I am world building, redesigning characters, rewriting the script, remaking the music, and on and on and on. The story is very intentionally interconnected in a way that will only make sense if you watch it, so I will just give you the absolute basics of the plot before diving into the explanations and changes. The tale is set in a sci-fi world. It starts off with a mysterious young woman named Luna who crash lands an odd flying device on the outskirts of a huge utopia. She almost flattens another woman named Sun who is working out on a nearby cliffside. Sun is startled but quickly tries her best to get acquainted with Luna. But there is something deeply wrong with Luna. Sun tries to ignore her strange behavior and whisk Luna away into this bright world to show her the ropes. They are met with a colorful cast of characters, like an unstable, wealthy lady who holds a deep grudge, her weirdly perceptive and gentlemanly assistant, and the keepers of a kingdom lost to the elements. The rich woman is hatching a devious plan, Sun and her family are ripping at the seams, and Luna's past is darker than anyone could have guessed. The story is fueled by the meticulously crafted characters and how they affect each other in this colorful but stained world. Yes, I talked for that long, and that's still just the Baldi's basics. Listen, I have a brain that won't turn off and a lot of time to use it. Moving on, here's a little snippet of what I'm changing to drag this out of Splatoon fanfiction. So, no more Inkopolis! Now we are in a city called Kaleidoscopia. It's going to be a legit utopia. Surprise, surprise, this place is not fully corrupt. There is one big problem with the system though, but you'll see what that is if I ever get this story done. I mean when I get this story done. Haha, you're not scared, I'm scared. Wait, I said that backwards. I'm redesigning all of my characters. Some look similar to how they used to, others not so much. Instead of Inklings and Octolings, these are now a new species called Myriadians. Because one of my joys in life is meaningful character designs. They all look wildly different from each other, even family members. My brain thinks in opposites and complements when it comes to characters, so you'll see that a lot in this story. Same with symbolism. For example, Luna represents 3 things. I just held up a 4 in real life. I am so disappointed in myself. For example, Luna represents 3 things. The moon, an owl, and the path. Sun represents the sun. Duh. A lion and the... Sorry. Sun represents the sun, a lion, and the present. There's a lot more details I could talk about, but you don't need to know all of that right now. I'm still in the designing phase, so these are all subject to change. The script is still a work in progress. I'm doing my best to write professional sounding and intriguing dialogue. I actually have season 2 and season 3 outlines. Having an idea of where I want to take this story and the characters later on has helped me write this season tremendously. I don't want to be one of those writers that says, "Haha, this thing exists now, don't question why it wasn't mentioned before." My goal is that nothing goes without reason. That kind of system just doesn't work if I don't plan super far ahead. I don't think you guys realize how little I knew when I started this. All of my scripts were handwritten in 2 messy notebooks. I have a permanent writer's bump. Now my work is much more organized. A while back, I started writing a Star Wars story. I just had a Star Wars idea and thought it would be a good writing exercise. Well, the idea expanded too much and I couldn't contain it in the Star Wars universe anymore. These are my ideas, my characters. I put too much work into them to let them stay under the umbrella of someone else. I voided the 4 chapters I wrote and started world building and designing from scratch. I debated doing it for a while, but I am so much happier with it now. I have creative freedom and no worries of copyright. This story is completely mine now. Changing that story was what helped spark this crazy idea. I sent this idea to my pen pal. Grace is a fellow author, and we love sharing our stories and ideas with each other. Here's what Grace wrote back to me. You should totally go for it. I've never written any fanfiction, but I've watched tons of YouTubers who have had OCs in a fanfiction and taken them out. They all say the same thing. It was totally worth it in the end. I know from what you said about it in your letters, this story means a lot to you. I'm rooting for you 110%. Thank you so much, Grace. This is the biggest project I've ever worked on, and it's unbelievably important to me. It's nice to get a new perspective on things because Grace knows way more about fanfictions and OCs than I do. I just watch gamers on YouTube, like, that's it. What's an art YouTuber? I get very dissatisfied with my work extremely easily. My old work doesn't feel like me. I'm old now, man! I have been called Unk multiple times! Look at it this way. For those of you who are around my age, your younger self is so inexperienced and you know so much better than them, don't you? Not to mention they're immature and make stupid mistakes. Wouldn't you rather fire your past self than let your past self set everything on fire? I wrote the story before I fully understood it, and that is never a good idea. I finally have it figured out, so everything is so much cleaner. I'm not trying to say that I'm all grown up and from here on out my work is going to be completely satisfactory and amazing. It won't be, and that's terrifying. Earlier, I said stuff like intentionally interconnected and meticulously crafted, but I am very well aware I am not Tolkien. Plus, confidence is still a big struggle for me, but it'll hopefully be better than it would be if Miss Pinwheel Hat was still in charge. I have a lot of fears when it comes to this project. Tons of doubt and anxiety eat away at me in all of my creative work, even in this script. With 2 years worth of struggle and worry, I've thought about giving up. Any reasonable person would have quit a long time ago. But who said I was reasonable? I'm still doing this thing. If it flops and it wasn't worth it, I still want to have the satisfaction of finishing it, no matter what. What I've learned so far is already so valuable to me. Maybe this could be something amazing, and all I have to do is give it my all and push through the pain. I still can't wait to see how this all turns out, and I hope you're excited too. So yeah, any feedback you have would be greatly appreciated. Comment below any questions you have, like and subscribe to keep up the craziness, and of course, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. The story is very The story is very intentionally interconnected. Why did I do this to myself? So I will just give you the absolute basics of the plot before diving into all of the shit. Well, I don't know where I'm going with this sentence. I didn't write it down. So, no more Inkopolis. Now we are in... Now we don't need... I didn't even get a word out before I messed up. Now I'm sad. I did like my tiny little plot summary and I realized it sounded like it was AI generated. It's not, but it still sounds like it and I don't like that. Do I sound like AI? Like, really, do I sound like AI? Can AI do that? Hopefully not. That was really gross. Instead of Inklings and Octolings, they are all now a new species. Because one of my joys in... Wow, that was sad. I just went, ew. I know from what you said about it in your letters that the story means a... Guys, I feel cringy. And not even the funny kind of cringy. I'm back and I feel better now. Turns out I was just hungry.